best bets are on the way for this Thursday card. It is August the 15th, 2024. And if you stay for this entire video, I'm not only going to give you a player prop in the MLB, but also two WNBA plays as the WNBA is back today. Let's get into it. What's up, guys? It's your boy Noble Living back with another DYF Bets video. I'm breaking down my favorite picks and plays of the day. I just try to get to the bag together and make some money. Now, yesterday, we had another winning day on the channel. We'll take it. Two back-to-back winning days. They were not sweeps, but we'll take the wins. Two in one day. Yesterday, we cashed in on Vladdy, hits, runs, RBIs. No sweat bet there. He had a double in the first inning that scored a run. So we cashed on the hit. We cashed on the RBI. First swing, first at bat. You love to see it. We also cashed on the Astros money line. A little bit sweaty, took extra innings, but a 2-1 victory for the Astros. We're going to cash it in. We did lose on the Giants and Braves first 5 under. And even though it was a loss and we hate to lose, it was a no sweat bet loss because the Braves scored 5 runs in the top of the first inning. So we didn't have to sweat anything at all. It was just a completely wash. So it happens. 2-1 on the day. Rat piss wager there, but not too bad. One game under 500 right now, halfway through the month of August. Not too bad considering we had a few days off earlier last week, and we have a lot more basketball and football on the way. And with WNBA back, it's going to help break up some of the baseball picks that we just had to put out day after day after day. I know that time of the year where it gets a little bit boring betting only baseball, but stay with us, my friends. We only got about 2 weeks until college football, and if you have not smashed that subscribe button just yet, you need to do so because college football, NFL is almost here, and I'm telling you guys, we are going to run the cards. You see the Saints hat on here, so we're going to be running the books the entire football season, so you're going to want to hang around for that. Now let's dive into these winners for today. For our first best bet of the day, let us go to the MLB card. We might as well get this one out of the way early. This is a very small slate on the Thursday card. Only 2-3 games are played later on in the evening, so not that big of a sample size to choose from, but I was still able to find us a winner. We're going to go to the last game of the day between the Twins and the Rangers, and I'm going to back the starting pitcher for the Twins here, and I'm going to go with Bailey Ober here today. I'm going to go under 2.5 earned runs, minus 140 odds. You guys have been sticking to the channel, then you guys know that these earned run plays have been like my new favorite baby, and I like this pick today. Bailey Ober has been very solid this year for the Minnesota Twins. 12-5 on the year with a 3.52 ERA and 130 strikeouts. Both of those numbers are top 26 in all of the American League among starting pitchers, and he has a .97 whip. That's actually top 5 in all of the majors. So Bailey Ober has been in excellent form, and I love him here today. I'm going to back him. His last start against the Guardians, he went 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs given up to go with 9 strikeouts. In his start before that against the White Sox, 7 innings, 2 earned runs given up, and 1 mistake pitch home run to go with 7 strikeouts and only 2 hits. His start before that against the Tigers on the road, 8 innings, 1 hit, no runs given up. So literally over his last 3 starts, he's had combined 22 innings of pitching and has only given up 5 combined hits and 2 earned runs, and one of those pitches were a home run. So that, you can kind of understand that. If Bailey Ober's keeping the ball inside the park, he's one of the most dominant pitchers right now in the major leagues, and I love the form that he's in, and I think that he's going to be able to exploit this Rangers team. This Rangers offense has struggled against right-handed pitching over the last month or so. They're bottom 5 in the major leagues in batting average against right-handed pitching, and then also in WRC+. So that's a little bit of a point of concern, especially considering the form that Bailey Ober is in. Now, when you actually look at the Bailey Ober's game log, we can dive in a little bit deeper. He actually faced this Texas Rangers team at home back on May the 24th. He only went 5 innings in that game, but he only gave up 2 earned runs to go with 4 hits and 5 strikeouts. So he wasn't like a big strikeout game for Ober, which we've seen from him at times, and he walked 3 guys. That's actually tied for the most walks that he's had all season. So the thing is, if Ober is keeping his pitchers in the zone, he's not walking a lot of guys, he's striking out pitchers, he's striking out batters, there's no reason why he should not go under this line today. I think this is a good value that we're getting on this line at 2.5. It's not the best of odds, in all honesty, at minus 140, but if you look at the Rangers' first 5 team total, it's at 1.5. So if you took the under on that, it's plus money, but we're losing a run, right? So for me, 2.5 earned runs, that's not too bad. My only point of concern here is Ober is a guy who will pitch into the 7th and 8th inning. He has that type of command, he has that type of volume, he has that type of pitch count. So that's the only thing that concerns me here is this is not really a 5 or 6 inning bet. This one could easily go 7 or 8 innings depending on how dominant Ober is looking, which can mean 2 guys get on base, a reliever comes in and then gives up 3 runs and we lose. That's my only thing that has me a little bit worried here. But overall, the form that Ober has been in, I cannot deny that. And then also keep in mind that the AL Central is a very competitive playoff race right now. The Minnesota Twins find themselves 4.5 games behind the Guardians. And the Guardians right now have been able to open up that lead because they've won 5 games in a row. So this is a big win here for the Twins if they can pick up the win with one of their best pitchers on the mound. So this way that margin does not continue to grow and get wider. I like Bailey Ober today. I like the Twins to win today, but I'm just going to isolate this to the under 2.5 earned runs for Bailey Ober as our first pick of the day. Now for our second best bet, we're going to head over to the WNBA. The WNBA is back after the month-long prolonged break because of the Olympics. Obviously, a ton of the WNBA stars were playing inside of those Olympic Games, and shout out to the women for winning the gold medal there. But today, I'm going to give you guys two kind of conflicting picks because I don't really know what to do coming off of the first game off of the All-Star break, right? So for me, I'm really just trying to tread lightly. I'm really just trying to figure out like what the teams are going to do in terms of rotations. Are they going to be playing all the women that played in the Olympics the same types of minutes? Or are they going to give them a little bit of a break? I don't know. So the first pick that I'm going to go with today is I'm going to go with Natasha Cloud over 11.5 points and minus 115 odds. Now, I like this pick today because Natasha Cloud has been in very good form, but the Phoenix Mercury are taking on the Chicago Sky. The Phoenix Mercury had 3 women play on that Olympics team. They had Brittany Griner, they had Kayla Copper, and Diana Taurasi. Shout out to Taurasi for picking up her 6th gold medal. That's absolutely ridiculous. 24 years in terms of picking up all those golds. I mean, that's crazy. But I don't know what the rotation is going to look like considering all 3 of those women really had not had a break over the past month. Meanwhile, Natasha Cloud, she's had a break, and that might mean a little bit of rust, but that also means less fatigue on the legs. She can come out and play dominant minutes. And then they're also playing a Chicago Sky team that had no representatives on the U.S. Olympic team either. So I think that this is a good opportunity for Cloud to really be able to step up, score some points, and carry some of the load to take that off of Copper, to take that off of Griner, and Taurasi, who all have played over the past month. If you look at some of the numbers for Natasha Cloud that she put up before the break, she had 12 points against the Mystics in 35 minutes on 5 of 10 shooting. So she went over this total, and she also had 10 assists in that game. And this game against the Connecticut Sun, she only had 10 points on 4 of 10 shooting, but the Sun are one of the top teams in the WNBA defensively, so that's kind of understandable. The start before that against the Dallas Wings, 14 points on 4 of 7 shooting. The start before that against the Los Angeles Sparks, 31 points on 36 minutes on 10 of 16 shooting. And so you can kind of see the form that Natasha Cloud's been in. She's gone over this total in 4 of the last 5 games and 7 of the last 10 games. Again, that was before the 1-month break, so you have to take some of that with a grain of salt, but I do think that she can continue that form here against a Chicago Sky team that's not really known for their defense. They're 8th out of 12 teams in the WNBA in terms of opponents' points allowed per game and also field goal percentage per game. So this is a Phoenix Mercury team that does not really play a ton of defense, but they are one of those teams that do like to push the pace a little bit and can push the tempo offensively, which I think that fits against what the Chicago Sky team fails at defensively. And I believe that Natasha Cloud can be able to score some points today. So I'm going to go with Natasha Cloud over 11.5 points as more of a play on the fact that some of the Olympic women might get a little bit of less playing time today, ease their way back into the WNBA competition. So this way they can actually get a break because they didn't get one over the last month. And Natasha Cloud was able to. So hopefully she can score some points today for this Mercury team. Now for my third and final pick of the day, we're going to go with the opposite side. So I gave you a woman who did not play in the Olympics, so as a result, I think that she should be able to eat today. But I'm going to give you one player who did play in the Olympics, but I do like the matchup for her, and I think that she could be able to score some points. And that is going to be a Sabrina Ionescu. We're going to go over 20.5 points, minus 120 odds. Shout out to Sabrina for picking up her first gold medal in the Olympics. But Sabrina is somebody who was a big player for that Olympic national team, but she didn't play a ton of minutes. In the Olympic starts, she had about 42% she shot from the field for 33 total points, which is about 5.5 points per game, 3.3 assists, but she only averaged about 13 minutes per game in the Olympics. So that's far below what she's used to running in the WNBA. She's a 30-plus minute per game player for her Liberty team, and now she's headed back to the Liberty today, and I think that she's been able to stay in good form because she got to play in the Olympics, but it's also not as fatiguing as somebody like Asia Wilson, who basically played like the entire game. Brittany Griner played significant minutes off the bench for the Olympic team as well. So I like Sabrina here today to continue the good form that she was in before the All-Star break or before the Olympic break, but she can also carry over that momentum because she's played basketball last month. She's been practicing. She's been playing with high-level players. Necessarily did not have to use her legs that much because she didn't play that many minutes. Does that kind of make sense to you guys? So I'm kind of going for two sides of the spectrum here. I'm going for one side of it where I'm like, all right, she did not play in the Olympics, so she should be good. And I have another player who did play in the Olympics, but she should be able to get some minutes because of the fact that she didn't play that much. Now, also keep in mind that the New York Liberty have Breanna Stewart. Breanna Stewart was the second player on the Olympic team that played the most minutes. So again, she might be eased into this competition or back into the WNBA a little bit, which might mean more minutes for Sabrina here. And they're also facing the Los Angeles Sparks. Ever since Cameron Brink went down with the injury, the Sparks have been absolutely dismal. 6-18 on the year, 4-18 at home. They're not that good defensively. They're giving up about 85 points per game. And we know that this is a Liberty team that's top of the WNBA in terms of points per game, averaging about 86 points per game. And they cannot just say, oh, we're back from the Olympic break and all of a sudden we're just going to take our foot off the gas. They're in a very competitive playoff race as they're trying to win their first WNBA title. Keep in mind, the Liberty are 21-4, right? The Connecticut Sun are 18-6. Then you've got the Minnesota Lynx at 17-8, Seattle at 17-8, and Vegas at 16-8. Keep in mind, guys, that this is not the same in the WNBA and the NBA where you have two different conferences come playoff time. Everybody comes together come playoff time in one big kind of standings. It doesn't matter if you're in the Eastern or Western Conference. They take the best teams. So Sabrina, the New York Liberty, they can't afford to drop any games, especially to a team like the Connecticut Sun. And considering they're coming off the Olympic break where Breanna Stewart played a lot of minutes, I like Sabrina to eat today. This is a team that struggled against guards in the Los Angeles Sparks. So I think the Liberty should be able to score some points today. So give me Sabrina over 20.5 points as our third and final pick of the day. Well, that's it for me today, my friends. 3 best bets, 3 quick winners that I've given you guys on this Thursday card, and 3 player props. Not too bad. Give me Bailey Ober for the Minnesota Twins under 2.5 earned runs. Give me Sabrina Ionescu over 20.5 points, and then give me Natasha Cloud over 11.5 points. For more picks and plays I'm dropping throughout the day because we have an early game of baseball, I'll have 1 or 2 early plays and a few nerfies. Click the link in the description. Join the free Discord group. Ease your way into the WNBA betting, my friends, okay? It's first day back. Let's see what the rotations are doing. Let's see what kind of the coaches are doing. And then from there, we can kind of start easing our way and ramping up as the playoffs are starting to come around the corner. All right, my friends? Let's get to that cheddar, and I'll see y'all in tomorrow's video. Later, guys.